On November 21st, 2020, the National Amur Kharja Department held its 14th annual National Public Affairs Seminar. The virtual event this year drew over 150 attendees, including local secretaries and representatives from 62 chapters, alongside 29 local chapter presidents and 8 missionaries. Respected Amir Jamaat USA, Dr. Mirza Makfoor Ahmad presided the opening session, and the event featured remarks by special guests Abid Khan, in charge of International Press and Media Office, and Naseem Malik, Secretary for the International Human Rights Committee. Topics included the launch of a new Supreme Justice project and latest developments concerning the persecution of Ahmadi Muslims around the world.
So it is very important that our behavior should be worthy of the representatives of the Jamaat-e-Ahmadiyya. There is no need, and there's some advice from Hazrat Liqatul Masih, I'm just paraphrasing. There is no need to be in awe, meeting to even the highest authority of the land. Because if we understand our position, if you meet a representative of a president or a king or a head of the state, in whatever capacity, there is no need to be in awe, because you are the representative of the person, only person who is appointed by Allah.
Respected Abid Khan shared some advice from His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, may Allah be his helper.
I've always seen from Hazur that we must show wisdom in our statements, in our decisions, in our acts. We should think of the consequences. But when it comes to the basic teachings of Islam, we have to be firm in our faith, and that has to take priority, even if it could lead to some short-term embarrassment or short-term issues. There are certain things that are non-negotiable. A few months ago, towards the end of May, Hazur mentioned to me that he felt it was needed to write a series of letters to world leaders about the pandemic, and that there was a need for serious reflection at this time. At the time, Hazur said, it is necessary for me to directly warn the leaders that the time has come for them to turn to God Almighty. I've given this message many times before, but given the gravity of the coronavirus and its unprecedented effect on the world, now is the time to address them once again and explain that it is only through the grace and mercy of God that humanity can be saved from further misery and destruction. One of the leaders was President Trump. And one of the things I noted at the time in his letters to President Trump and to other leaders, that Hazur's tone of language was extremely polite and gracious, perhaps more than I was expecting. And this was something that I asked Hazur about one day. And Hazur said that he was following the example of the promised Messiah alayhi salam, that the promised Messiah, when he used to address leaders, he would write with great humility and would use phrases like Meri darkhwast hai, Meri ajzana darkhwast hai, that is my humble request from you. And Hazur said that if this is the language of the promised Messiah that he would use, then I must use the same language.
Amjad Mahmood Khan urged the participants to carry out the newly launched Supreme Justice Project.
It means we need to go to these communities and we need to tell them that we, the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, stand for supreme justice, that we are a community for 100 years that believes in racial equality, that we need to end racial persecution, that we need to end social disparities, that we need to end economic injustice, that we need to end educational disparities, that we need to end the indifference of America to the plight of people of color, that every Native American, every Latino American, every African American, and all other people of color, including ourselves, many who are on this call, that we are a part of the country and that we should lead for them. When we are seeing COVID-19 ravage the Hispanic and African American communities, and that's going to continue, why is that? What is the systemic racism that leads to that? Why is it that the average wealth is so low? Why are the educational opportunities deprived? What are the root causes of this? It is because the people have not turned to the true recipe for success, which is in the Quran we read every day. When there's a talk of adl and ihsan, kindness, every Jummah khutbah you hear this, that we must have ita azil qurba, that we should love people like we love our own kin, our own relatives. Why are we sitting on the khazain, the treasures that Islam gives us? Why are we not sharing that with the American population?
This is Salam Bhatti reporting for MTA International USA Studios.